Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Frosty Alpha, and welcome to our Season 3 draft analysis video for the RBL. Now, this season is going to be a lot different than how it was last season, because last season we kept a more GBA style format with that. And with this season, we actually decided to branch ourselves towards a more UCL style draft, and having one from each tier, including one wild card at the end. So there are a few rule changes, and if you don't know what the RBL is, I will leave links down in the description to the YouTube channel, to the subreddit. So as it is, the small amount of changes are this season is that last season you had to Mega Evolve as soon as you brought your Mega in, and you only got the Mega form. In this season, if you choose the Mega form of what you want, you also get its original form, and one you do not have to Mega Evolve right away. So Mega Evolution is possible, but it is also not possible. So as it is, you can choose the way you want to play it. Now, you only get one Mega. You do, even if you get another Mon that has a Mega form, you cannot use its Mega form because you're only allowed one Mega. So with that, I'm going to jump right in to our draft analysis, and it started with the 3 rounds of OU. Now, in OU round 1, we pretty much drafted our Mega unless it was a non-OU Mega, but having good positioning, I decided to pick up an OU Mega, and with that, I decided to pick up Mega Scizor. Mega Scizor was the best pick for me by far because it is a stab fairy killer. It has great typing, great defensive typing, and it's only weak to fire. With that, it also gets access to Technician and Priority Bullet Punch. Now, Bullet Punch is probably one of the most evil moves you can use on a fairy type, and considering fairies will be in and around this season, I wanted to have the best thing to kill those off, and Mega Scizor was the biggest thing for that. So, as it is, I am extremely excited to have it. It is a huge attack monster. I also get its normal form, so I do not have to bring a Mega form of this. I can bring Choice Banded Scizor if I choose, but I like it for its defensive typing, and I believe it's going to be a really good thing. With this, I've also decided to nickname this thing Rock Paper because it is a Scizor, so Rock Paper Scissor, and I am extremely excited to get to use it. I really am. It was not available to me last year, and I am really hoping that it is going to be a murdering machine on fairies this year. And so with that, speaking of fairies, we will get into our second pick, which is one of the best fairies out there. In contrary, if you want to start debating with it. But the next pick I decided to pick in OU round 2 because I lost my OU round 1 pick was the Fairy Queen Sylveon. Now, Sylveon added great synergy for this team. It has Pixelate, it has Stab, Hyper Voice through Pixelate. It also offers a lot of it offers a blistering 130 special defense, which is really good for eating fire, especially because it can cover Sylveon. Sylveon can cover Scizor in its fire weakness, but it can also Wish Pass, so I can wish something in, take some damage with Scizor, and then a wish will heal it right back to full health. Hopefully, depending on what it is, depending on the move I take. But it also offers a Shadow Ball user, a Wish Passer, just multiple functions with it. It doesn't have to go into a utility role. It can go into a Specs Hyper Voice, Psyshock, and Shadow Ball. So it has multiple functions, which I thought was great and really rounded with this team really well. So I am extremely happy to get to use it this year. Sylveon is by far, Sylveon and Jolteon are the 2 of my most favorite evolutions, and the fact that I get one of them this season is absolutely amazing for me. Now, going into that, we go into round 3. And with round 3, I wanted to round this out because, as you can see, I have a Steel type and I have a Fairy type. So I wanted to round out the Steel Fairy Dragon Core, and I thought there was no better dragon in the OU round to round this out than the original dragon himself, Dragonite. Dragonite is very bulky, very physical, can be special but not as much. But it is very physical, very bulky, and it also gets the ability multi-scale. So it has this ability of just taking hits and just outliving and outdamaging you. It also offers me a Choice Band user, it offers me a Scarf user. I'm excited to use it with just different possibilities. It only has 4 weaknesses, but that 4 times ice weakness is not very much, considering that Scizor covers its 4 times weakness very well and can just switch in, take an ice beam, take minimal amounts of damage, and scare out whatever's in there. So I think within our first 3 OU picks, we had a really, really good core. It's an absolutely disgusting OU round pick. Disgusting in the sense that it is good. It looks very good and intimidating, and that's what I was really going for. I really wanted to make a statement with my OU round draft picks, and I believe I had one of the best OU drafts in my own personal opinion. So once again, I had Scizor, Sylveon, and then Dragonite. And then we go into the UU rounds. Now for the next 3 picks, I wanted utility, I wanted a sweeper, I wanted somebody who could have multiple functions, and I felt that this first pick in UU was really the most important pick because it had to be something that covered my weaknesses well. Something that covered ice weakness, something that covered poison weakness, and something that covered fire. And there was only one Mon on the board. Well, there were 2 Mons. There were 2 Mons I wanted, but I didn't end up getting Arcanine. I wanted Arcanine, but I didn't get it. But the one Mon that was my clear first choice, because I never figured I would get Arcanine because I was pretty down far into the draft line, and I actually was really happy to get it this year. I am excited to bring Easy Bake the Rotom Heat to our team. Now, Rotom Heat is one of those great things because it's a Rotom. It only has 2 weaknesses, rock and water, which is really good. It covers the ice weakness, it covers the fire weakness, it resists everything that I wanted to resist for Dragonite, for Sylveon, and for Scizor. So these things cover each other beautifully. And that's what I really, really wanted. And it has really, really good stats, especially because not only can it be a defensive tank, but it can be a Scarf user, it can, Scarf Trick. It has 107 in both defenses, so it can go both defenses. It's a Levitate user, so it's immune to ground, minus unless they're running Mold Breaker, but there aren't very many Pokemon that get Mold Breaker. But other than that, I felt that this pick was perfect here because Scizor can U-turn and Rotom Heat can Volt Switch, and they can both just kind of switch in and out for each other and kind of grab each other when needed while doing either small amounts of damage or large amounts of damage. And that's what I really, really wanted, is I wanted to be able to put my opponent on edge and be able to keep the momentum going in my favor, and I felt Rotom Heat was a perfect fit for that. Now, we go into round 2 of the UU, and at this point I felt I had a really good core. I wanted something that was a ground type, something that was immune to electric, and I wanted some sort of sweeper. And with this pick, I was really happy it was still there, and I felt I got one of the best sleeper picks because it is an absolute physical monster, and I'm happy to have it this season. I'm hoping that it's going to do well. I am bringing Crocodile Dundee, the Crocodile, to our team this year, and that was my second UU round pick. Now, Crocodile is very fast with a Scarf. Scarf Moxie is a very common thing. It is very intimidating because it has Stab Earthquake, Stab Knockoff. Yes, it does have a lot of weaknesses, but Rotom Heat covers a good chunk of those, while Scizor and Sylveon cover the other parts of it. So I mean, I have switches for this thing, and I need to get it out, I can get it out. This also gives me a Stealth Rock user. At this time, I did not have a Stealth Rock user, so I was happy to pick one up finally. And it also gives me somebody who has access to Intimidate, and I was really, really happy to have access to Intimidate. So it has really, really good attack. You can see that 1 at 17 attack. A Scarf, Moxie, every time I take something out, it will get a Moxie boost, giving me 50% increased attack, which I felt was really, really needed. I believe this Mon is going to be the sleeper Mon on my team. It's going to be one of those Mons that if people don't prepare for it, it's going to completely body rock a team. And I, like I said, I'm extremely happy to have it on the team this year. With the next pick, and the last pick of UU, I had to do something to please my wife. If you guys don't know, I am married. I've been married for 7 years. And my wife wanted me to pick this thing up, and looking at it, it was actually a perfect pick. And I was really happy that she wanted this, and I was really glad to get it in the last round of UU. And with that, we are bringing Ruby Rose, the Roserade, to the Wartortles this season. Now, Roserade is a base 125 special attack. It can be a special attacker. It gets natural cure. It also gets access to Technician. It has, ice and fire weaknesses, but like I said, Rotom Heat covers those. It has a flying and psychic, but I'm trying to remember. I believe it's Sylveon. No, Crocodile is immune to psychic. Plus, flying can be eaten up easily by Scizor, and I really have a lot of good switch-ins for this thing to keep this thing alive. It gets access to Giga Drain, which is a great move, Synthesis, it can be a special wall, it can be a special attacker. So I am really glad to be able to have mons that have multiple functions. So I really want to see, I really can't wait to use this. But I am bringing Ruby Rose to this team, and I'm excited to be able to use it because I believe it's going to put my opponents on edge, and because of its poison typing, this also gives me a great counter to fairies. Not only do I have Scizor who can do massive damage to fairies, but I also will have this, so I can have a backup mon that has backup ways of killing. You know, should Scizor fall or I do a wrong move and Scizor falls, I will have a backup fairy killer on hand, and I'm extremely excited to be able to use this, and I am glad my wife made a great pick. So I'm really happy to bring it this season. Now next, we started the RU round, and then the 3 rounds of RU. With the first round in RU, I wanted to pick something that had, like I said, another good multifunction, something that I felt was going to be more tanky, but I was also looking for something that was water. I really wanted a water Pokemon. At this point, I did not have a very good water type. I wanted something really good and something that offered me even close to maybe even a water immunity, and I found that in this next pick, and I am happy to say I am bringing Princess Jellicent to the team this season. Now, Jellicent is a water ghost. It's got great typing. It only has 4 weaknesses, a lot of resistances, plus it has 2 immunities to fighting and normal. This does have a good chance of almost kind of walling Conkeldurr a little bit. You know, Conkeldurr, yes, can get it, but it also will lose access to Mach Punch and will lose access to Drain Punch. So I will have to watch for knockoffs, as knockoffs and Thunder Punches are, you know, possibilities. But if I do get in and get really, you know, if I get a defense setup or some sort of acid armor setups, I could be able to eat that. And it has reliable recovery and recover. It has, you know, 100 base HP and 105 special defense, so it has really good special defenses and HP counts. Plus 60, I believe it outspeeds Conkeldurr naturally, so I will be able to recover before even taking any damage. Plus it gives me the ability of Water Absorb and the ability Cursed Body. So even if I do take damage from Cursed Body, it has a, or even if I do take damage from a move, Cursed Body has a 30% chance of disabling the move, which is really good. And I'm really excited to have it. If, you know, I do believe there was a better pick for this, but having this one on the team I think is going to be really good. Like I said, it gets access to some really cool things. Stab Scold, I can't wait to start firing off Scolds with this thing. And I believe getting it in the first round, you really rounded out our Fire, Water, Grass core. Now, with the next pick in RU, I wanted somebody who was a revenge killer. Some sort of revenge killing monster, something that could be easily scarfed, massive amounts of damage, really bulky, and something that had stab fighting. I wanted some sort of stab fighting or stab fighting Pokemon, and I was looking at it, I was like, who's on here in RU that could be a really good revenge killer? And then I look around and I found this one, and I was really happy to find it, and I'm really happy to have it this year. So I'm happy to announce that with our second RU pick, we chose Rape and Pickage, the Emboar. Now, Emboar is one of these fat monsters. 123 base attack, 110 HP base, and it's got the great hidden ability Reckless. And this thing actually gets really good recoil damaging moves. So you can put a Choice Band on this thing and spam Flare Blitz for days. Even if it's resisted, it gets an extra 30% bonus because of Reckless, and then Choice Band makes it hit even harder. So I mean, it does have 4 weaknesses, but it also has, I believe, 6 resistances. So it resists fire, it resists grass, resists ice. It's another resistance for Dragonite and Scizor. Yes, it is 2 times the ground, but then I have Dragonite and I have Dragonite and Rotom to get away from the ground. You know, they offer so much synergy together, and most people, I shouldn't say most people, I almost forget half the time that this thing gets Sucker Punch, and a Choice Banded Sucker Punch does a huge amount of damage to anything Psychic or Ghost. So as it is, I believe this thing is going to be an absolute monster this year. I can't wait to use it. There are many different ways I can take this, but having having a monster who, you know, puts you on edge as soon as you see it in the team reveal is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm happy to have Big Rapers this season. Now, at the end of RU, I decided to take a pick that is a little bit more controversial. It is one of those picks that kind of is up in the air, and even to me still it is kind of up in the air, but I understand its logic of why I chose it. with this third RU round, I wanted another stealth rocker. I wanted somebody who could turn. I wanted to start building this turn core so that way I could start turning or have really fast mons to get in and out and do damage without really taking too many hits. With this, I felt this was the best Pokemon to do so. It offered me another stealth rock user. It offered me another ground immunity. And with this, I'm happy to announce that with our last RU pick, we chose the defeatist Pokemon himself, Archeops, Jimmy Talon, as I like to call him. Now, Archeops is one of those 140 base attack monsters. He's absolutely, he's absolutely damaging, but he also has one of the worst abilities in the game in Defeatist. Defeatist is an absolute terrible. I'm not gonna lie. He has 5 weaknesses, which is not all good, but he does have 4 resistances and 1 immunity in ground. So with that, I really see him being more of a utility mon, something I can use. He's very quick, 110 base speed, 112 special attack. He doesn't really get these good special moves. I mean, it'd be really good if he can get Air Slash, but he doesn't. Maybe we'll get some sort of event mon that has Air Slash built into it. That would be kind of cool. But if not, it does have 140. It does get access to U-turn. It gets access to rocks. It does get access to taunt, so it's a very fast taunter. So I just wanted something that was really quick, could hit you really quick and get out. And that's all I wanted this mon for. Was this, set up stealth rocks, and have another stealth rock setter. Because as a setter at this time, I only had 1 in Krugerrand. I didn't want to always have to rely on setting rocks for Krugerrand. So I'm really happy to have Jimmy Talon on the team this year. And like I said, it's one of my most controversial picks, but I'm hoping to prove everybody wrong in using it in a really good way. Now, as it is, these next 2 picks are from the NU tier, and with our first pick in the NU round, I wanted a mon that was also very quick. Something that was quick, something that had priority fake out. I really wanted a fake out user of some kind. And this mon was a good way to get that. Plus, it also offers me Defiant, which is a really great hidden ability. So it makes it really kind of iffy switching in a Intimidate user because you're just going to give me a +1. It's not, its typing is normal, but it's kind of iffy. So with our first pick in NU, I'm happy to announce that we took Catastrophe the Purugly. Now, in this style of league, you don't see Purugly very often. There are other better picks. Other mons that are really good, but I was really wanting to use this last season, and I decided this season I would give it a shot and see how it's going to work out. And I believe it does have really good speed. With 112 base speed, it's really quick. It also is another taunter, priority fake out, gets access to knockoff. It's a normal time it gets access to play rough. There are many different ways I could take this depending on what I see as team, or what I see on the other side. So there are a couple things I want to try with this thing, and I think it could throw my opponent off guard depending on what I bring. So I'm happy to have it this season. It is a great physical mon. Like I said, it gets access to fake out. There are other sets I want to try. I might try running with this just to kind of play around with people, but I'm happy to have it this season. Now, with our last pick in the NU round, I decided to pick up a mon that I had last season. I try not to pick up mons that I have had before because I don't like using the same one twice. I like learning around and learning new mons and figuring out new abilities and new ways of dealing with it. But this thing had it was another Intimidator. It was something I wanted as part of a turn core. I wanted to get in, get out. My whole thing is get in, do damage, get out, switch into defenses, and be able to do things. That's kind of the whole building of this team is to get in, do damage, get out. And I really feel that this mon really fits the bill. It's an electric type. It does give me access to Volt Switch, and I'm happy to announce returning from last season is No Flux Ray the Luxray. Now, I know the name's gonna be really iffy. I don't know if I'm gonna even be able to get it, but I hope I do. Luxray is one of those physical monsters. He actually does get some decent physical moves. He gets access to every single elemental fang. He does get access to superpower. He gets access to wild charge, but he also gets access to really good special abilities. Mostly, there's not gonna, he doesn't get access to ice beam or anything, but you can spec him for hidden. You can IV him for hidden power ice. Plus, he has 95 special attack, which is not bad. It's not great either, but it's not bad. So you can, you can Volt Switch. You can use hidden power ice. You can use signal beam. and it's just a really good mon all around in general. And I felt having another Intimidator was going to be really good to have on this team, and another way of getting in and out and switching into what I need. And I felt that was going to be best for the job out of everything I saw. With the end of NU2, we see that we have quite a diverse team, and with that, I knew I needed something. I knew with the wild card pick, I wanted something that had some sort of stab psychic, and with the wild card pick, we are allowed to go back into any of the tiers minus OU, so anything UU and below, and pick a Pokemon as our wild card pick. Now for the wild card pick, we also reordered the draft, so somebody didn't have an advantage over somebody else. It was completely re-rolled and re-ran for the wild card round. And with this, I wanted somebody who could also eat ice, who could eat water, who could open up a lot, you know, who could cover my resistances, and I get a thick fat user just in typing. And I'm really happy to announce that this season we get Tuesday, the Slowking. Now everybody in the RBL knows why I named this thing Tuesday, as when I posted this I said I wanted a psychic type, but my phone auto-corrected me and said Tuesday, so now my Slowking's name is now Tuesday because it is Psychic Tuesday. It was supposed to be Psychic Typing, but it auto-corrected me to Tuesday. Dumb. But whatever, now I'm bringing Tuesday the Slowking to the Wartortles. You know, he has really good special defense, really good special attack. He's really slow, but he's really bulky. He gets access to reliable recovery. He can set up, he can sweep your team if you're not careful. He's one of those mons that's really hard to play around because he also gets Regenerator. So I can switch him out, I can heal the damage I just took, and I can then bring it back in later. I can set up Calm Minds or Nasty Plots. Most people don't even know you can actually run this thing physical. If you ever watched Shady Penguin, and when he took this thing, it was a couple weeks, it was about a week ago, he did a team builder using David was his Slowking, and he did a physical version of Slowking, and I think that's a really cool thing to see. I've never seen it done before, but I actually hope one time I get to bring it, because I think that will be fun to use Belly Drum Slowking. But if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to worry too much about it. But as it is, it's a great wall. It has great defensive typings. I can't wait to really play around. It has a really diverse move pool, plus it's stab psychic, and I'm really happy to have it. So, with that, this is our team. With Scizor, with Rock Paper Scizor, with Madoka Magica, and also Lady Sylvanas, or Sylveon. Sorry, I realized now that I have not said what all the nicknames are. We have Charizard, our Dragonite. We have Easy Bake, our Rotom. We have Crocodile Dundee, our Crocodile. We have Ruby Rose, our Roserade. We have Princess Jellicent. We have Rapey Pigage, our Emboar. We have Jimmy Talon, our Archeops. We have Catastrophe, our Perugly. We have No Flux Ray, the Luxray. And then we also have Tuesday, our Slowking. So I am happy to say that this is our Season 3 team for the Golden State Wartortles. And I am extremely excited to defend my championship from last season. I get to battle all the League A people I wanted to battle last year. A lot of the League B, a lot of the B League that was with us last year also came back, so I get a lot of rematches that I wanted from last year, and I'm really anticipating a great season this season. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, and you know what, go check out the Reddit, go check out the RBL YouTube. I will leave that down in the comments, I will leave a link down in the description below for you guys to go check out our stuff over there. I hope you guys have a good day, and remember, stay frosty, my friends, alright?